But for me, I was so bothered to be a child. It was so annoying. You will never have a rational reason to move. There is not a good rational reason to move. What kind of people do I want to meet? A time where you can't spend time anymore with this kind of people who are close to you.
On this episode, I sit down with Simon Dünberger to unpack how he built real community from scratch and why waiting for perfect conditions can keep you stuck. We talk about bold moves, international relationships, and what it takes to build connection. This is Simon Dünberger. You grew up with 11 siblings. What did that teach you about people before you ever entered business?
So, in general, if you have so many siblings, first of all, thank you to come here for the invitation. And yes, I grew up in a very big household, so 11 siblings. And one thing what you had to do is taking care of others, of course, because when the parents were somewhere else, or so I always had to take care of other people. And when you create also events and communities, it's also about the other people. So you need to take care, they have a good time, they are doing well. And from this on, from this basement, you can create good connections.
Absolutely.
Good moments, and this is very important.
Absolutely.
That everyone feels kind of well. And this was something what I got from my childhood, definitely.
Okay. I mean, I am relatively new in Austria, so it's my first to hear about 12, a family of 12. Yeah. So that's very, very unique. In a family that's large, who are you? The leader, the observer, the troublemaker, or the peacemaker?
Yeah. So I would say, I'm in the middle. I'm number 5, if you want so. And that's why I have the feeling of connecting like the older ones and the younger ones,
Yes.
So I'm completely in the middle. And then you have a very specific role, I would say, which is
Absolutely.
given you by, where you are kind of from the
Yes.
range. And I would say I was very peaceful but connected also with all of the other ones. So I'm very extrovert person.
Okay.
So it gave me so much like energy probably to hold them together. So for me, it was kind of a like I saw it as my personal responsibility to take care or to connect the older ones with the younger ones.
Yes.
Because you're thinking, okay, you're the 5th of 12 children. Like, what is your role in this, Because when you have so many siblings, you're thinking about your role.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want to do like something what your brother already does. And you try to find your niche, because when there are, your siblings are playing piano and playing drums or playing football and this and this and this, then there is no, and you're the number so the 5th one, then there is not so much more to do because there are already a lot of things what they are doing, and you try to be unique. Somehow there is something in the in the human mind which thinks, okay, you want to be
something else,
something else, unique, just unique,
And last week, funny enough, sorry to interrupt, I was reading, because I'm also a second child or the middle child of the family, and there was a psychology that says you learn from the risks and the mistakes from the older siblings, and then that also puts you in a position to take risks in life.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of complementing what you're already saying.
Yeah. And also, it depends all very strongly, I would say, what kind of personality the person, like the brother above you has.
Absolutely.
Because when there is a person which is very organized, or your brother is very organized, you try to be kind of the complete opposite. So more the troublemaker, or taking more risks, or be more creative, because this is something where
Yes,
you don't want to play in a game of this organizational thing. Then you think, okay, I could be more
absolutely.
this person, and then I'm more unique.
Absolutely.
So
Okay,
yeah.
and for the parents, what was the biggest lesson you learned from them that you're still, implementing today?
I think the biggest lesson, so we grew up also religious, and I would say
Okay,
that, like, God is always with me is one thing,
nice.
because it helps you in a lot, because sometimes there are also not so nice times, and I traveled also a lot.
Yes,
And if you are in a new country and you don't know anyone and you don't speak the language, then it's a little bit intense, and you can feel very fast very, like, empty, and like without anyone, and that's kind of a deal, so this helped me a lot, actually,
okay,
to when you're abroad, especially when you moved, because the first month you don't know anyone
exactly.
and you don't speak the language. There are so many differences. For example, in Portugal, it's also very,
Yes,
like, more poor country, So, and you don't speak the language. It's also very hard language. And then you have troubles, and who do you go to, There is
absolutely,
nobody,
absolutely.
Yeah, and this is something where you need a little bit help from
From
s-
from above,
from
yes,
above,
I would,
and this definitely can help you, or in, like, me.
yes.
I felt a lot of, like, energy and power from it, and
Okay,
that's why I'm kind of, because it works, I, do it, and I believe in it.
absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, I can relate to you moving from Kenya to Austria for the first time, coming to Europe for the first time in a country like Austria. It was overwhelming, so I understand where you're coming from. I would like to hear more about Portugal, but before that, at 20 years old, you moved to Cambridge.
Yes.
Why?
So there are multiple reasons. One was a girl too,
Okay,
which is a very interesting story. So I had a girlfriend at this time, and she wanted to go to the UK.
okay. So
Uh,
she was
s-
from Austria. I mean,
she
she's
was from
Austrian. Okay,
Austria, but so we met, and but she had already planned that
yes.
that she would, like, be abroad for 1 year,
Okay,
and I thought, okay, that sucks, but maybe I can go also to the, like, UK to be closer, because I thought also, hey, going to the UK, like, improving a little bit of my English, because my English really sucked. It was
okay.
so bad.
Yeah, it's good
It
now.
was so
Yeah,
bad. And I thought, okay, then I will have also a better English, and have also this. I was very open to it, and I thought about it anyway to do a year abroad, also for the experience. So this kind of matched too. And then I went to Cambridge. She was in London, but in a very not so good part of
oh,
London. I think Reading, which was a
I
little
hear
bit
about those.
outside,
Yes.
and it really sucked. And it was very, actually, funny story, because she she was going 2 weeks before me,
Okay.
and then she was not able to handle it, and after 2 weeks she was coming back.
Oh,
So
oh,
I think,
and you already planned your trip.
yeah, and I planned everything and organized everything, and then it ended up that I was in Cambridge, uh, and she was in Austria. So that was also
Okay, okay, okay.
very interesting, but the experience by itself
Okay. And how did that look for the relationship in the long term?
It was fine. We were managing.
Okay.
Yes, but we are not together, so it's my ex-girlfriend. So, but this was kind of the reason why I went there, and it was very. I think it was the best decision ever.
Okay.
What I did
Was it difficult to leave Vienna?
at this time, I was living in Salzburg. So,
Okay.
and Salzburg is, to be honest, it was very weird when I was 15, 16, and I went to other cities, other countries. Everywhere I liked it more, kind of. Not everywhere, but in most of the, you went to Italy, you went to Spain, and you think, whoa, so nice here. And then you come back, and it's still very beautiful, but somehow I knew from very early age that I will not stay here. And yeah, that's why I thought, okay, that's great to leave the country to get the experience. And it was very like the British, they are
Yes.
so I like something so much about them, with
The
this manners and
yes.
the accent,
Yes.
it's
And
the
very
accent.
outgoing, they're very, in my opinion, all the
Yeah, when
Brits
they
that
are
I
drunk,
meet.
they are.
Yeah.
They are very. But very. So one thing what I really liked was like how polite they are.
Yes.
They are really. I mean, they don't maybe mean it that they are, but this kind of standard
But at
of
least it's there.
yeah, and I felt even so. Always when you go to the supermarket, you think, oh my god, like why she's wishing me like so nice day, and she was very like nice and really like this kind of manners would we sometimes in Vienna, forget about the kindness and all of this.
Yes.
And this I liked so much. And also when I came back to Cambridge, I thought why everyone gives like really a shit, like why I really went to the supermarket, no joke. I went to the supermarket, I bought my stuff. She was just taking it over the counter, um, saying what I need to pay, and that's it. Not hello, thank you, have a nice day, nothing. Just like no saying, no nothing.
That's, yes.
Just yeah, hi and please go. So something like this.
Oh, wow. So then you moved to Vienna during COVID. Most people were shrinking their worlds. You expanded yours. Why?
Maybe because of this, because you had nothing to do, right? So it was also about like so the relationship was not really working out, to be honest. And I also had to leave my flat what I had at this time. So we would have need to move in from Salzburg to another
Okay.
flat actually, but I wanted always to go to Vienna. And yeah, it was more because of the apartment actually, because
Okay.
before I go in a new apartment I could also move to another city. Yeah, so that was the reason.
Okay.
And it was very interesting too, because when I wanted to move to Vienna at this time, Corona was pretty, there were not so high numbers in Salzburg. It was pretty fine.
Okay.
And in Vienna, it was skyrocketing, the
Oh, wow.
numbers went up. And and everyone asked me, of my friends, hey, Simon, do you really want to move to Vienna,
Exactly.
because it was also like lockdown, like really hard lockdown. And I said, yeah, of course, because I cannot, I don't want to be the whole time controlled of my circumstances.
Yes.
If I move, I move. if it's a shit time, it's a shit time.
Exactly.
But I still move because somehow I need to live my life. There will always come something in between.
Exactly.
You know, it's never working out. It's never a good time to start something. There will be always, you will always find a reason not to start, not to move, you know. And I thought if I will not do it now, then
it's
I will.
never going to happen.
No.
So what did Vienna teach you about ambition?
I think a big city is also, when you're in a big city, you're thinking also bigger, you know, in general, because there is so much. First of all, I went also there because I had the feeling there is much more opportunity. Because in small cities, I have the feeling in the small cities there is small opportunity, and the big cities
That's
there is
true.
big opportunity. So I thought, okay, let's go where the big opportunities are, you know,
Okay.
and move there and build up your life how you want it. Because I always knew, okay, I want to have my own business.
Yes.
And I thought Vienna is just a much nicer place
Okay.
to do it.
And what do you think are the mistakes ambitious people make at the beginning?
Overthinking is probably one thing. So very often, you know, if you have high standards, you don't want to be like the stupid guy, you know?
Yes.
And I think this, like overthinking, overanalyzing, very often. So there is one thing what I have from my traveling and moving somewhere. You will never have a rational reason to move. You know, there is not a good rational reason to move. I mean, why should you move to a city where you don't know anyone? You need to find a new work, a new house, which will be better than the other one. And maybe you don't even find friends. Maybe you struggle with the work. Maybe. So there are thousands of maybes.
Yes.
But somehow I wanted to explore also a little bit of the world, you know. I thought the world is so big and I'm in such a small country,
Absolutely.
in a small city,
Yes.
in a small continent, you know.
Yes.
And that's why I wanted to expand. But I was always open to new. I don't know. There was always this childish mindset of discovering like more and hey, let me see what is here and here, you know.
I can understand that.
And when I was, you know, when people say, hey, please, you're not allowed to go here, then I'm so bothered. I'm like, why? You know, like, for example, there is one thing which triggered me really a lot when I was young.
Okay.
So many people say, hey, it was so nice to be a child, you know, so nice because you have no responsibilities and all of these things. But for me, I was so bothered to be a child. It was so annoying.
Okay.
Like, always when I wanted to do something, it was like, you're too young. No, when you're 18. No, when you're not like, you can't play with us table tennis because you are too young. You know, it was always this too
There's
young.
always limitations.
There is so much limitation. And I was like, I'm so happy when I become an adult and then I can buy what I want. I can do what I want and have this kind of individual freedom, which means really a lot to me, you know. And this is why I also want to create my life by design. So by how I think it is cool.
Okay.
And I think this is something which is super nice when you're an adult because you can just like live your life how you want it.
Absolutely.
And if you're paying attention to it, then you can really pull it off. And that's pretty cool.
Okay.
So that was always the goal.
Okay. I like that. So speaking of creativity,
Yes.
you organized more than 30 events. What made you fall in love with events?
There, it's slightly like a drug for me. I don't know why.
Okay.
It's this kind of
Interesting.
probably because I'm extrovert, that I love this human connection and this. So you need to think, when I was young, when I was at home, every day there was kind of a party, you know?
Okay.
Like I had 11 siblings. We were always doing so much, you know, it was so intense. And I really love this human connection, to be around people,
That makes sense.
to talk to people. I enjoy it so much. It's kind of my drug, you know?
Okay.
And I thought, because most of the things I realized I was just doing because of the human connection. For example, going out, making party. I thought, I don't like to make party. I just want to be around cool people, actually.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then I thought, okay, maybe doing party, you know, is not the best of the best. So it started basically when I was in Lisbon, you know, because when you don't know anyone, you have so much time.
Absolutely.
If you move to another city and you don't know anyone, it's crazy, you know? I mean, you go to work. Okay, what are you doing after work? Okay, you go to the gym. But that what then, you know? And after a few weeks, and then you're okay meeting your colleagues, but you don't want to be always with your colleagues. You want to find other friends too, you know? And then there is this like, what the fuck I'm doing? Like
Yes.
nothing goes on, you know?
Nothing makes sense. Yeah.
Yes. And that's why I thought, okay, it would be cooler because now I have so much time, but I know so less people. And it would be so cool if I can switch that I have less time, but I know a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was the goal to it. And this is how it started, basically, from there. And so it was more of boredom and the willing to have this kind of human connection. But I thought also, because you're new in a city and you think, hey, you can meet whoever you want and you can build up your 5 friends with what you're spending the most time with.
Yes.
Because so far you don't have any friends there, but you can build it up. And then I thought, okay, what would be, so if I need to meet the next 5 friends, need to build up this kind of relationships, who should it be? What should they do? What do they like? You know? So I was really making it very intentionally, kind of, to think about, okay, what kind of characteristics do they have? What do they like? And what I like. So I came up with a list, and I was, after a while, unconsciously, you're looking for these kind of attributes and characteristics. And yeah, then I was looking for these kind of people, and I thought, okay, I could even create an event for this specific people because I already had my target group,
Yes.
kind of. And then I thought, okay, then because you need to write, you know, this kind of invitation and description about the event. And you thought, okay, I'm business orientated. I have high energy. I like good conversations. I like classy places. So I will create the event on a fancy place with nice people, which are also like business orientated, who really have a drive, you know, who just don't want to make party or something like this, really want to build something up, you know. And this is how it started, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do people misunderstand about networking?
So much, to be honest. So for most of the people, networking means just going to random events and let's see. That's it.
Okay.
They have not any kind of goals. They don't go there with a goal. They don't know, they don't think, okay, what kind of people could I meet there? What do I need? But also, what can I bring, you know? What do I want to have from this evening, you know? This kind of expectations. I mean, it depends, but these kind of things. So in general, you need to think about the basement. What kind of people do I want to meet, and what can I bring to them, and what kind of conversation would be even cool with them to have. I mean, if you think about the specific person and like, and let's say you create your kind of avatar, what you want to
Yes.
like meet, basically a really cool person, and you write it down. You write the characteristics, what they do, and then think about it. What kind of questions could I ask this person? You know, what would I talk about with him? And how can we have even like a good conversation?
And
you know?
what has that taught you about human beings in general from having all those conversations?
There are, so one thing which is very important is that you need to see everyone as a kind of individual, and this is already a big deal. It's very hard, you know?
Yes.
Because in general, our brain thinks more about generalizations.
Yes. And stereotypes.
And stereotypes. And this is also important. So don't get me wrong, it's like very important to have this kind of pattern recognition also, which also helps you to, you know, to connect and manage your life also in a sense with the people, you know, because if you don't think in patterns and a little bit in stereotypes, you know, like especially when you are with like in the general public, it really helps you. But if you are in a personal relationship, and this is the thing, then it goes really like deep, you know, and it's to understand also the person, not rationally, I mean emotionally. This is something what I'm very bored of, because very often I ask, do you understand? And they say, yeah, I understand. Yeah, but you don't understand emotionally. You just say, yeah, rationally.
Yes.
But I can see when you think about it that it's something what you can't feel, you know?
Absolutely.
And and I think if you have a very good connection and you go really deep in this kind of like relationship in general, then it really is an amplifier of your life, and it really can help you. And it also helps others, you know? If you give, because it gives other people stability, basically. This is why we're social creatures.
Absolutely.
Because you can give even stability to people, you know? If there is a guy or person, what you know, and this person maybe doesn't have anyone, or doesn't like has not so good connection to a lot of people, then you can really can give him really stability, because at least he has this one person who he can trust, and this person also believes in him.
Yes.
You know?
And speaking of, because I like the emotional aspect of it, what has been the most emotionally demanding aspect of all of this in building this?
I mean, humans are humans, you know, and this is nice and hard at the same time, right? I mean, humans are so chaotic, you know, especially in our time. We think, you know, we think more in a rational way, you know, and this is already kind of a deal, you know,
Okay.
because you think, hey, let's meet at 7. Why are you coming 15 minutes too fucking late? I'm waiting here in the rain, and this kind of stuff. And
Yes, yes,
I mean,
yes.
15 minutes is okay, but some people are coming 30 minutes, and you don't even have so much time, right? Um, yeah, and then it's just,
Yes.
hard, because
Okay, okay.
humans are not rational, they are emotional.
Yes.
And that's so hard by itself, because then you can, say, and then they just say, yeah, I don't feel it, whatever that means.
Okay. I mean, as far as, so to my understanding, you are mostly surrounded by people, at least for your career.
Mm-hmm.
Does that feel, do you feel lonely sometimes in spite of that?
Lonely, not. Sometimes it's really nice to be alone. It's really nice.
Okay.
But
I
mostly
would agree.
this, but I think because so many people are thinking, there is this movement, this weird movement, in my opinion, about self-love and like quality time with yourself. I mean, in general, it's a good thing. But somehow this extreme advertisement of be good by your own, but this means more or less don't have any friends, in my opinion, and be good with it. But it's not like how it works,
Yes.
Like, this is not really life, to be just by your own, like the lonely wolf, and still be good with yourself. We're social creatures. And if you say if you're 1 month by your own, completely by your own, and you don't have human connections, then it seems, for me personally, you have really some issues, or you will get
Absolutely.
some, like,
Yeah.
it's very weird to me, because like humans are social creatures,
Yes.
and this is also our biggest superpower. The biggest superpower of humans is the social connections
Absolutely.
and this understanding and this kind of give a fuck about others,
I always say
and
we are
being by
tribal.
your own the whole time. Even, for example, one thing I want to say, the concept of having your own apartment is something which didn't exist even like in humanity for a very long time,
Oh, I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, think about it. 70 years ago, you were living with your parents until you were an adult, and you moved with to your wife, you married, moved to
Yes.
your wife, and you moved, and this is the funny thing, you moved next to your parents mostly. There were not, and this, like, you were really living like next door, kind of,
Absolutely, yes.
because you need help and all of this stuff. So, because it was hard at times, and then you need a little bit people around you. And this kind of, because now we are so wealthy and we created this infrastructure of society, which helps you to live even by your own, is very new, you know?
And that's why there are problems coming from it. I mean, personally, or at least I could speak for most of Africa, we don't do that. I mean, we can have Winston later to confirm that. But for example, as far as I know, people, yes, you are right. When you do get married, then you just move, as far as I know, like a flat higher or lower to where
Yeah,
your parents are.
yeah,
And you're constantly not by yourself. You're
yes,
constantly surrounded by family or very, very, very close people who
yes,
you either grew up with. And yeah, so
yeah.
that's such a good point. I like that.
Yeah, and that's a thing which is I think in society we have so many problems, and they come,
Yes,
I believe they come from very random things. So for example, I have so many siblings, I had the luck, and it was normal to have siblings, But now, to have siblings is kind of a 50-50 chance, you know? So, with other words, can you imagine, like, let's say 100 years ago, it was normal to have 2, 3 siblings. That was normal, and in our world, it was always normal. And the connection between brothers and sisters is a very unique one.
Yes.
Very unique.
Agreed.
Because I told you before, there is this kind of connection to people which can give you stability, and connection to parents, but also to siblings, can give you enormous kind of stability. So if you don't have this, I mean, who I mean, come on, when you were a child, was not this saying kind of, when there was a single child, it's egoistic, it just thinks about himself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a kind of a stereotype, but it's kind of true.
There's truth to that.
There is
Yes.
truth to it, because why it came like this, So it's really kind of a thing, and which is logically, I mean, if you get if you never needed to share something, and I don't want to bash all the single children.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
But
Much love to all of you. Yeah.
yes. But still, there is just a different kind of mindset, If you have siblings and you had to share with them, and it was also not always equal, it was not always fair.
Yes.
So there is a specific point to it, and we always had it in human history, and now we don't have it. But what does this do? And this nobody thinks about. I never heard it. What does this do with our society if there are only single children?
Yes.
This nobody thought about.
And especially when then, let's say that's the case, yeah, because they can't do anything about it, then
Yes.
the aspect of making friends, might be difficult or very easy. So it also depends, okay, what happens after that? How do they compensate for that? That's also the difficulty in that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But to be honest, yeah, and this is the difficulty. But in general, I mean about this, because I talk about this a lot. Because you are a little bit egoistic, to be honest, if you're a single child, it's normal. It's not something, bad or something, because if all the attention is on you, and you never had to share something, and you never had, I mean, when I was, this kind of, there is food on the table, and then my mom says, hey, give a part of it because we don't have enough, this kind of stuff.
Yes.
And this also because the thing is, because so many single children, I had my friends and they were important for me. Yes, but to the relationship to a friend and
It's
to
different.
a brother is very different.
Absolutely.
And this kind of, when you have also siblings, the mother says, or the father, hey, look after your sibling, your brother or your sister. And it's a very, it's a responsibility. It's really something serious, and you think, okay, it's my brother, we stick together, and you
Yes.
take care of him. So it's
Yes.
something very specific. So if you don't have this at all in your childhood, and then you're an adult, then it's also, it changes just the society very much when it comes to this.
Okay.
And
Makes
it would
sense.
be interesting also of the measurements, because these people don't think about, but I think it's a very important point, because I think a lot of our society goes more in this egoistic direction, in my opinion. And think about all these things. It's about me. It's about me. It's self-love. It's blah, blah, blah. And and it's this advertisement.
Very individualistic, yeah.
Yeah.
Very...
But the thing is, there is no advertisement about sharing, about caring about other people, This is even something new. And I think, to be honest, I think it comes even from this having no siblings or less siblings. I mean, less siblings to have one is already kind of a deal.
Those are,
It's
yeah.
already hard.
But
Yeah.
those are very good points. Those are very good points. And yeah, because from all of that now, yeah, and trying to connect it with business, yeah,
hmm
how would you say, what's the most difficult part of it?
When it comes to business,
Yes,
I
like what
mean,
has been the biggest challenge for yourself, because I'm certain it was not easy, even though, like, yes, I do like what I do, but there are very difficult aspects about it that we don't talk about.
yes, it's this basic thing and about trust, you know? I mean, if you build a business, you need to trust people, and you need to work. You cannot, and this is also something which get advertised. I did 1 million euros or 100 million, but most of these people didn't do it by their own. But it seems everyone, like, is kind of on Instagram. You get really much of the vibe, I did it by myself. But most of the things you don't do even by yourself at all.
Agreed.
If you're becoming rich or successful and making a project, this kind of attitude, I did everything completely by myself. I mean, even this podcast, you have also like partners who you're
Absolutely.
working with,
Absolutely.
and
Couldn't do it without especially Winston right
yeah,
here.
that's the thing. And yeah, but it gets advertised that, there's this rich person and he did it just by himself, you know?
And that's not the case.
Yeah.
That's not the
Even
case.
he has and even yeah, and so he needs partners very often, what he needs to trust, but also clients need to trust him too, you know?
Absolutely.
It's also not something, because if you don't have clients, if you don't have people who are believing in
That's
you,
a very good point. That's a very good point.
yes.
Yeah.
So about trust, this is a big thing. Yeah, this is the main
This
thing
is the main
actually.
thing. This is the
Yeah,
main
and
thing.
this is pretty hard because, sometimes it's more a business relationship, sometimes, you know, I mean, to make business with people what you don't like is very, like, I wouldn't recommend in general. But sometimes, it's you need also to come together for a specific thing, even if you don't like this person so much and it's kind of not your best friend. But to build this kind of atmosphere, this kind of business relationship is
Yes.
also a thing, Okay, it's not like your best friend, kind of, but there is a common ground where you can work together, and to focus on this for this moment, for this business relationship, there needs to be a specific environment and mindset to it, that it will be also a good thing, because yes, you don't like so much, but somehow there is this basic trust,
Yes.
this profession and attitude to it, where you can say, okay, I will do business with this person. It's not like that we are like super close to it, but in this common thing, we build a bridge for each other, which helps us both and to create something for another one, basically. So this
Okay.
is it, you
Okay.
because you need to work together to be able to create something which is good for a specific client, which is kind of very nice if you think it about,
Yes.
because you're not, and now we're coming again, you're not thinking only about yourself, you're thinking about the client. Yes, of course you want to make money, but you're thinking about the client, how can you can help him. Then you think about this partner, what this person needs or wants also out of it. And then you build this kind of environment where you can create something. And I think this is a very special process and very good process.
Okay. So I was going to ask about relationships, yeah, to build on what you just said, because you traveled, you've seen people, you've dealt with different people, you've lived in different areas, yeah.
Yes.
What has that taught you about human connection, about people in general?
Yes. In general, if you need to leave a part of you in order um, to become a part of something else, if you know what I mean. So if this comes more to the country by itself, because if you move to another country, Lisbon, you can't be so structured and so structured basically, and so zack zack zack, like really step by step by step in your life there, because the people are more relaxed, and you can't shout every time if a person is not doing this to this person. So in order to go there and to connect with people, you need to lose a part of yourself in order to win a part of yourself. So there is no winning without losing. So you need to sacrifice something in order to make it work. Because if you say, hey, I'm here and I don't do any step forward to you, then it will be, and the other person also, where you want to meet.
Yes. So I would just like to know what are you becoming right now? Yeah. Like at the stage and all the things you've achieved and the business that you've created, what are you becoming right now? And also, in other words, take us just quickly through what you are, because you told me privately that you are currently building this event where you have, a certain standard of people, and then, but that comes hopefully the end of the year, to my understanding, and then there is something that's happening every month. So maybe just take us through that so that also people can know what it is about exactly.
Yes.
And yes.
So I have a business community in Vienna, which is now over 300 people, professionals
Wow. Okay.
or business owners. And we are meeting once per month. It's a like networking event, and it's all for this. So the focus is on building business relationships, about partnerships, finding investors, but also like exchanging, and bring value. But the focus is in general um like partnerships and networking. This is the main focus. And now we are also building something more specific. So we have also already created an AI breakfast, which is
Okay.
specifically to the topic for AI, where founders and decision makers coming together, and we are just talking about these kind of things and about the future, which also should help innovation to appear.
Oh, nice.
And yes, so this is about AI, but
That's interesting. Yeah.
now I want to build more like kind of like a business club basically, with members who believe it's a real game changer when it comes to their business. Because very often, as a business owner, you come very fast to a plateau
Yes.
when it comes to business, when it comes to revenue, when it comes to employees or specific things. And somehow, you're not growing. You're standing there since 2 years and you're working, 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 but and you're a little bit already frustrated, and you think like, I want really to push, but it's not working. I don't come further, and then you there is something, and then you think, oh my God, like, to be honest, maybe I can meet people who are already there where I want to, what I want to become with
Yes.
my business. And if I meet these people very often and I can exchange, then I can probably become this person, because I will get, some information out of it, or your mindset shifts and changes. And this is why I created. Also, you get to better deals, and uh, we will create also like some specific workshops, etc., to it. But this is another thing. But in
Okay.
general, it's about pushing to the next level and creating an environment where you have these people where you can grow and get this what you want out of life.
Okay. Okay.
Also, one thing what I want to say, I asked a friend, it was very interesting. He's young and pretty successful. So he's 29, has already 30 employees. And then I asked him, hey, do you know someone who is like you, like who is also so successful? And he says, no, there is no one. And it's really hard,
Okay.
because you're pretty alone here. There is not so many people who are young, very successful.
So that's what you're
And
hoping to
yeah,
bridge. Yeah, that's what you're hoping to, make a full circle for, right?
yeah. I mean, it's hard to be always, can you imagine you're going in a room and you're much more successful than the other ones. And you can't even, you have also some problems, some things what you want to discuss, but you don't really want to talk to people who don't have experience in this. And then you're thinking, I would like to talk with a person about it, maybe also to solve it or
Yes.
get new ideas.
Maybe they already solved it. Maybe you can brainstorm together.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's,
Yes, but then you're coming to a situation very fast where there is not so many people like
like,
which are in
yes,
this kind of spot.
I can understand.
And
Yeah.
then it's a little bit like, hey, I don't know anyone, and I'm always like in this room and in this room, and I
Yes.
can't even talk about my basic kind of um, problems about, or kind of challenges more.
That are, yeah.
Yes.
So I very much admire what you do. Yeah. Because there are also many, so live alone people who move to Austria or move to Vienna, and they could really use this. As you said, you know a friend who is very young who could use this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you are very valuable, yeah, to this community. Yeah. And personally, I hope I could join some of your events. I think you
Yeah,
have one
sure,
next
sure.
coming. Yeah. So
Yeah, sure. I do this also, to bring people together, and together we can build something.
absolutely.
And for me, it's an honor also to create these kind of spaces where this kind of conversations, connections, and hopefully also business deals can grow and
Yes,
raise.
and flourish. Absolutely. Yeah. So we're hoping, of course, like in about half a year, 1 year, we'd like to have you again and you tell us about the achievements you've been, and because the project, the new one you told me about, it's going to happen soon. So we would like to hear more about that. Yeah. So yes, there are so many things that we could really go through. Yes. Unfortunately, yes, we have to find again time. So, of course,
Sure.
if you're willing, we'll be more than happy to have you again. And now I could just ask you some rapid fire questions. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Just one answer that comes to mind, and we go from
Like
there.
one word or?
One word or one sentence, but
Okay.
very simple. Yeah.
Yes.
Most underrated life skill.
Socializing.
Most overrated success advice.
Lock in.
Biggest strength.
Biggest trend
Strength.
about me.
I would say so.
Motivation.
Motivation. Biggest weakness.
Structural thinking.
I would say my biggest weakness is motivation, because that's why I just have to do it. If I wait till I'm motivated, it's another story. Love or ambition?
Love.
Money or freedom?
Money gives you freedom.
Okay. One thing you'll really tell every 20-year-old.
Help others.
One thing people should stop doing.
Having time by themselves and rather have time with the people they love.
I like that. One thing people should start doing.
So connecting more with your grandparents.
Nice. A city that changed your life forever.
Vienna and Lisbon.
A person who influenced you the most.
My brother.
A belief you would never give up.
The hard things are something for life and the soft something for the heaven.
Okay. What is a meaningful life?
Like having the life by your design and how you want to live it
Live it.
and create it
I
by
like
it.
that. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that was burning for you to say? This is it. This is the final chance.
Try to connect to the people which are close to you, which you may be where you didn't invest so much time, because there will be a time where you can't spend time anymore with this kind of people who are close to you. And I think it's important to spend it now.
Simon, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.